So I'll briefly introduce myself. My name is Kate. I am a tutor doing SAT, ACT, and college prep work with students online. What I'm going to do today is go over this SAT practice test number 4. I'm just going to kind of run through it and very briefly describe why I choose the answers I choose. I'll have more in-depth versions of these kinds of walkthroughs later on, but this one will just be a quick one today. So feel free to follow along if you like. This is the SAT practice test number 4, and it is available on the College Board website. So what I'm going to do is highlight the answers that I choose, and then at the end we'll go over it and see if it's correct. So here we go. So these are both vocab questions, so I'm just going to briefly read the paragraph and see what's up. Okay, yeah, so this one is collected. It says gathering pieces of it to bring back to Earth, so that's the definition of collected. Number 2. Yeah, this one is reflect. So it's saying it might not look like it used to anymore, and evidence of impact may no longer be present. So that would be the choice that I would make for number 2. Number 3. Yeah, so this one is recognizable. So this would be, less obvious. It's present but less evident. So it says they have to, figure out how to get there. So have to figure out how to show this trait. So that one would be recognizable. This one would be unimportant. I will say I don't really like this sentence. I might say something like irrelevant, but that's the best choice we have. Okay, number 5. So this one's a purpose question. So I'm going to need to read a little bit more. Yeah, so this one is D. Because we can directly see a contrast between the picture and the other things in the shop, and we know that he feels positively about it because it says he's proud. So we can imagine that the contrast is something that's important to the story. Okay, number 6. This one is B. The speaker describes a distinctive sight in nature. So we're not really worried about accuracy. We're not really worrying about human behavior. And she doesn't directly relate it to her emotional state. Of course, it's likely that, there's something underlying as well, but so far that's all we see. Okay, number 7. So we're looking for structure in this one. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to as I read. This one is D. He starts with essentially a counterclaim, something that people are levying against him that he doesn't think is representative, and then he goes on to describe his actual goals. Okay, number 8. This one also is a structure question. This one is B. I could see an argument for D as well, but I think because it's a generalization rather than a clarification, because the clarification hasn't been introduced yet, I'm going to go with B. Okay, number 9. This one is a comparative piece, so I'll have to do a little more reading. So what I'm looking for here is, it's not necessarily a linear move from band to tribe to blah, 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 right? Or clans, chiefdoms, states. Instead, it's always been flexible, dependent on the needs of the group and the environment. So let's see what fits that. I like B. Yep, I'm going to choose B. Okay, number 10. This one is D. Okay, number 11. This one is a reading comprehension question, so let's read it. this one is C. Okay, number 12. Let's see. This one is D. It's really just saying that's his favorite person. Nothing against anybody else, just wanting to make sure that they're safe for Thornton before he allows them in the circle. Okay, so number 13, this one has a graph. So this one is a data question. Let's read the paragraph first, and then we'll check against the data. Okay, so let's just check. So A, Washington had between 600 and 800 organic farms. Is that true? Yes. New York had fewer than 800. They did not. That is untrue. Wisconsin and Iowa each had between 1,200 and 1,400. Okay, let's check Wisconsin. That's above 1,200. Okay, and then, yep, and then Iowa, not true for Iowa. So I think we already know it's A, but we're just going to check through these anyway. Pennsylvania had more than 1,200. Okay, so it's A. Yeah, so these really aren't that difficult. They look scary because they're big, but it's really just fact finding. Okay, number 14. This one is really about reading comprehension and argumentation. So we're going to read the paragraph and then judge against that. Okay, so we're really looking for other, sexually dimorphic or at least sexually independent variables on these birds. We're looking for another example. So let's see. Yeah, so not D. I'm reading C now. Doesn't really help us, I think. Yeah, so we really want to see not only this trait continuing, but also that it is more pronounced over time. So this one is B. Because it's not really about the trait, it's how the females interpret the trait. Okay, let's do number 15. And then after this one, I'll do the rest more in depth, just so that you can get a sense of how I'm coming up with these. That way you're not just hearing silence while I'm thinking. So we'll do some at normal speed, like the first 15, and then we'll do some slowed down ones where I really explain. We'll do kind of like an SAT ASMR today. So let me just finish up 15 and then we'll do that. Okay, so again, this is a data question. So let's just double check. So iron from SPC dust is 20%. Yep, that seems true. Sodium from OCC dust is 100. Okay. Iron from HTC dust is 90. Okay. Sodium from AST dust is 75. Okay, so what I'm noticing is that all of these are true, so therefore we just need to assess which one best fits the section of the paragraph that they're wanting us to look at. So it says, for example, whereas the average ablution rate for iron from AST dust is 28%, the average rate for blank something something. Okay, so let's just see what they're trying to compare here. Okay, so they're starting with AST, so we definitely need to be comparing HTC or OCC, so we can get rid of A and D. So let's take a look at B and C. We also want it to be the same material, so this one's going to be C because they're comparing iron.